As you may have read, thank you, Vanessa. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you. My name is, for those who don't know me, for the new participants, welcome Angela, welcome April,
Thank
welcome
you.
Karen.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Monique. Thank you.
Okay, good. So let me start the session, and when you have question, I will give you some time to ask questions. And if you want to write in the chat, if there's something I need to know. Okay, so welcome, Ellen. So my name is Monique Giard. I'm a doctor in counseling psychology, and I started to combine spirituality and counseling when I realized that something in counseling, in psychotherapy, was missing. It's the connection with the soul, our spirit. And so I was delighted when I had met many spiritual teachers before, and because I'm also Métis, that means I've learned the teachings, the shamanic teachings, and the teachings of the medicine wheel. And I always felt that in psychotherapy, the part of the spirit, the soul, was missing. And when I met Master Sha, Dr. Zhigang Sha, I realized that, wow, he was combining, and going very deep in the alignment of the mind, the heart, the body, and the soul. So I started learning the teachings of Master Sha about 15 years ago in 2005. And I discovered that Dr. Master Sha, well, he has many credits to his name. To his name. He's a world-renowned healer. He's a Tao Grandmaster and the creator of Tao calligraphy that we will introduce tonight. And he is the founder of Soul, Mind, Body Medicine. He is a medical doctor in China and doctor of traditional Chinese medicine in China and Canada. And many people have met him first as a acupuncturist, very successful acupuncturist. At a very young age, he's been interested in many ancient disciplines, and he became a grandmaster of many art forms: Tai Chi, Qigong, Kung Fu, Feng Shui, and I Ching. And the reason I'm telling you this is because the practice that we will do tonight is incorporating so many different philosophies and sciences. And we will introduce Tao calligraphy, and I'll explain later. So Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha is also co-writer with Dr. Rulin of Tao Science, bridging science and spirituality together through Tao Science, and he's fulfilling his mission to bring peace to humanity and Mother Earth. And now, who is Dr. Rulin? Dr. Rulin is co-writer of Tao Science. She's a quantum physicist and string theorist. She completed her PhD in California in 1994, and all her life as a scientist, she wanted to contribute and find the grand unification theory. And again, the reason I'm speaking about grand unification theory is to introduce what is Tao science. Why am I interested in Tao science? And I'm interested in Tao science because when we connect with Tao to transform grief and sadness, for example, to transform it to a really deep sense of peace and calmness, we learn more about what is Tao. Tao is emptiness. And according to Dr. Rulin, a quantum physicist, all kinds of vibrations appears in emptiness. Within emptiness, within Tao, there are countless, countless vibrations. And we learn through Tao science that everything is a vibrational field. You are a vibrational field. I am. The house you live in is a vibrational field. The car, the cars, the buildings, everything, everything. And so when we learn to connect with a positive vibrational field, it can truly transform our own field. And what is so fantastic about Tao field is that if we connect with Tao emptiness, we enter a condition that is called Hundun. It's called the Hundun oneness condition. What is the Hundun oneness condition? It's Tao creation. It's going through the origin of creation of everything. Tao creates one, ones create two, which is heaven and earth. Two creates three, which is a Hundun, cosmos and earth, and then it creates everything. And when we enter the field of Tao, we return to the time and space before even the creation of Mother Earth. So Tao is emptiness. Tao is everything and everyone. In emptiness, there's no separation, no division. It is oneness of all creation. So when we connect with the vibrational field of Tao, we connect with all beings, all souls. We are one, inseparable. So these are a lot of words for some people that are new to the concept of Tao. So I would like to start and welcome everyone. I can see Athena has joined, Dorian, welcome, Tanya, Ming Ming, and Angela Blackman, John Sudesh, and April, Ellen, Mary, Barbara, thank you for joining. So I would like to invite you to do a meditation with me. And so I invite you to close your eyes, to have your feet flat on the ground, and to be still for a moment if you can. Give yourself this time to stop everything. Give yourself that gift of stopping everything and to breathe in deeply through your nose. This is breath power. Breathe in and imagine that you're breathing in the light from the sun, the moon, and we had a fabulous full moon recently. Breathe in and relax. Body power is you're going to put your hands over your abdomen. Welcome, Arlene. So glad you can be here. So put both hands over your abdomen. And during this meditation, everything that you will visualize will be in your abdomen. Put the tip of your tongue close to the roof of your mouth and relax. Breathe in and allow your abdomen to relax. And now look inside your abdomen. Your abdomen contains the whole universe. Breathe in and relax. Breathe out. The sun is there. The planet, the moon, the stars, Mother Earth, And now we're going to say a very special invocation. This is soul power. We say, dear soul, mind, and body of the sun, I love you. Could you come in my abdomen and shine there? And we're going to chant sunlight, sunlight, sunlight. Visualize the light, bright light in your abdomen. Sunlight, 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 sunlight. Continue to keep your eyes closed. Now we will say hello to moonlight. Dear soul, mind, and body of the moon, would you please come in my abdomen and shine there? And we will chant moonlight. Moonlight, 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 breathe in. Moonlight, moonlight, breathe in. Moonlight, moonlight. And now we will visualize in the abdomen earth light. Dear soul, mind, and body of the earth, I love you. Would you please come in my abdomen and nourish me with all that you provide for us? The food, the shelter, the clothes, the water. We are so grateful. And we chant earth light. Earth light, earth light, earth light, earth light. Breathe in. Earth light, earth light, earth light, earth light. And universal light, the light that's reflected, the stars, the galaxies. And we chant, we say, dear soul, mind, and body of the universal light, please come in my abdomen and shine your light, your love, universal light. Universal light, universal light, universal light, universal light. The light is growing and growing in your abdomen. The light is now filling up your chest, vibrating. Breathe in the light and relax completely. The light is growing into your head, into your back, alongside your spinal cord, down your hips, your legs, all the way to your feet, from head to toe, skin to bones. You are filled with bright light. You are filled with bright light. And this bright light connects us with the source of everything and everyone. This bright light connects us with the oneness of everything and everyone. We are one. All of you are in the field of the light. It's a field of love and light, and together we are connected in the field of love and light, of Tao, the source of all creation. And we can recreate ourselves as we connect with Tao. So I'm so glad that you're all here tonight to learn more about grief and how to heal and transform grief. And I have a very special guest tonight, and it's Barbara Friesen. And I'd like to introduce her before she speaks and shares her experience. So Barbara is a student of Master Sha for about 8 years. And professionally, she's a retired nurse with 30 years experience working as a leader in mental health. She's trained as a coach and as a Reiki master. She's a Tao Hands practitioner, a Guanyin lineage holder, and Tao source communicator through Tao Academy. And she wanted me to specify that her biggest qualification for doing grief work is her experience of grief and learning to align with the practices of Master Sha. And that's what helped her heal and allowed her to transform grief. And so give a big welcome to Barbara. And I would like to show, actually, just a moment, Barbara, I would like to show a picture of your sister because that's what actually led you to become a grief coach. And so I would like to show a beautiful picture of your sister and in loving memory of Iris. So we take all of us a moment, because when we connect with the spirit world, we connect with all those that we want to connect with in the spirit world. So for me, I connect with many people that I've lost: my parents, a sibling, an adopted mother, and so many more, a nephew. And I know that tonight will be a very fantastic healing experience. So Barbara, please, I'm gonna stop talking and the, tell us a little bit about you, how you became a grief coach. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Monique. What a beautiful introduction. I feel so much more grounded. And thank all of you for joining us here tonight to talk about a subject that is pretty hard for most people to talk about, I think, in my experience. I really had no interest in doing grief work at all until I lost my sister. And I'll just share with you a little bit about my experience. My sister had cancer, and she was sick for about 4 years before she died. And I basically looked after her for a lot of that time. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs in cancer treatment. And so I basically left my job and made it my sort of focus to look after her and make this experience as good as possible. And also at the same time, her husband had a terminal illness. So I kind of was involved with both of their care. So she died in 2018, and her husband died about a year later. And when she died, I knew she was going to die. I knew she had a terminal illness. But when she died, I was totally devastated. Totally devastated. My life just kind of fell apart. And it was a very, very challenging time. We were very close and had been all our lives. But during the time that she was sick, we were even closer because I spent so much time with her. So it was a huge, huge hole in my life when she died. And I was in pretty severe emotional pain for about 2.5 years. And after that amount of time, I remember sitting at my kitchen table one day and looking out at the rain. I live in Vancouver, and thinking to myself, wow, is this my life? Like, I'm just going to feel this pain for the rest of my life. And I have really nothing going on. I don't feel any energy. I don't feel any drive to do anything. Is this how it goes with grief? And I decided in that moment that I was going to figure out how to transform this. I was going to find a way. There had to be a way. I just couldn't accept that this was going to be my life. And so I set about, I was really setting about square one, trying to educate myself about grief. I just had to know there had to be a way, and I was going to find out what I could. And I also was kind of disconnected, I think, from the practices that I'd learned from Master Sha. I just had it in my head that they couldn't help me because I wasn't sick. And I thought that the practices were for people that had illnesses. So I was on these two tracks, and I really, I mean, I was a good student. I even did focus groups. I got together everybody I knew and their friends, anybody who would talk to me about their grief experience. I just had to know, like, how did you do it? How did you get through it? What was your experience? And I talked to probably dozens of people. And most people said it was that they never really got through it. And many people, after many years, after a big loss, felt like it had happened yesterday. It was still a huge hole in their lives. And I was kind of shocked by that. Very few people sought help. I think one woman I talked to, the only reason she saw a therapist is because she was suicidal after losing her husband 5 years, 6, 7 years down the road. And I was really quite amazed that people were still carrying so much grief after many years. And I also started to realize that what I had after 2.5 years was a chronic condition. And the only way I was really going to figure it out was I had to learn to transform it. So I had my education part, and then I had my transformation part. And I started doing some of the practices. And what I learned was that one of the reasons that I hadn't been responding to the practices is that I was focused on my pain. So it was like I'd wake up in the morning and take this like pain temperature check. Yep, still feeling it, still devastated, still no energy. And I just focused on the pain all the time. So when I got back into working with the practices that I'd learned with Master Sha, I started focusing on healing. And when I shifted my focus to healing instead of pain, after 2.5 months of doing these practices and doing them diligently every day, 2 to 3 hours a day, after about 2.5 months, I had the most amazing experience where I actually felt my grief leave me. It was the most amazing experience of just this darkness leaving my body and this light coming in and just filling me like head to toe, skin to bone, this beautiful light. And I knew in the way of direct knowing that my grief had left. The pain was gone. And I was euphoric. It was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I've never experienced anything like this before. And it actually was gone. It did not come back. And I began to think, long story short, I began to think, I really have to share this with people. People have to know this about grief, that it is possible to transform. Not only is it possible, it's desirable, because I know that people carry grief for a very long time. And that grief is still almost a taboo subject in our culture. And so people don't feel comfortable talking about it. People don't feel comfortable seeking help for it. They don't know what to do. And so I made it my mission to be a person that had some expertise in this field so that I could help other people transform their grief. So I work with people who were like me, who've been carrying grief for a really long time and are still in a lot of pain. And it's been a really amazing and rewarding experience. I have discovered that in the process of working with people, that people carry multiple griefs. It's not just people who have lost a loved one. That's terribly painful grief. But people carry grief about lots of losses in their lives. And sometimes people don't even know they're grieving. So if you think about it for a minute, think of losses that you had in your life, financial losses, relationship losses, health issues. We've been in a pandemic for 2 years. There's almost everybody's had some sort of loss related to COVID. People have had geographical losses. There's so many layers of loss, and we're all going to experience these things in our lives, not only the loss of loved ones. So I've kind of made it my mission now that I'm passionate about helping people transform grief, no matter what they're grieving. One of the things I had to come to grips with really quickly in my education about grief is I was carrying a lot of misinformation and beliefs about grief. I think this is what happens when something is kind of in the closet and people aren't talking about it, educating themselves about it, learning about it, is that we develop these mindsets and beliefs that when I started looking at them, I thought, where did that come from? What made me think that that was true? So I'll just give you an example. One of my beliefs was that, if I just waited long enough, grief would leave me. It would just somehow it would just go away and I could resume my life. But then after 2.5 years, I kind of discovered that nobody was going to come and rescue me. And time wasn't going to heal me. I had to take charge of my grief. I had to learn what I needed to do to transform it. So just as a spontaneous exercise, I would just ask you, what are some of your beliefs about grief? Just without thinking too hard about it, just off the top of your head, what do you think is true about grief?
Yes, and I will take this moment to ask everyone, write in the chat some of your beliefs or mindset or a loss that you've experienced. And thank you so much, Barbara. And we'll come back to you if you have a moment. So take everyone, write in the chat like a belief or a negative mindset about grief. And yeah, some some people may have the loss of a dream, the loss of a possibility in their life, the loss of that hope, and like keep writing. And people have started to write. We're gonna read some grief of not having enough money and not being aligned with our source as much as I want. Yeah, I can talk to them whenever I want. So loss of all the earnings, great financial loss. Yes, people have experienced lots of financial losses recently and over years, and in history, people have like the whole countries have experienced lots of financial breakdowns. And so sorry about your financial loss, Sudesh. We'll do something about, yeah, grief is, we'll do something about that tonight. And grief is sadness, lack of interest, right, Vanessa? And Renee is writing unresolved grief for decades, even with therapy and Master Shah's tool. Yeah. So something that we will focus on tonight is do not focus on the pain, focus on healing. These are words from Barb. Focus on healing. Loss of home, house, property. Yes, yes. Arlene, I can hear. Grief is a very sharp pain in your heart whenever you think about a lost one. Yes, grief will make me stronger. Grief and self-forgiveness to let it go. Yeah, lots of different beliefs. I can't be grieving if someone hasn't transitioned, Athena wrote. Yeah, and so, yes, grief is something you live with and not forever. I was in a ceremony yesterday for the medicine wheel in that Van Dusen garden where they have the solstice. And lots of people were grieving and allowing the tears, allowing the heart to name it, to feel it. And yeah, yes, Marie writes, I have believed that if my ancestors could not fully recover, neither would I. Yes. And, I witnessed my mother grieving and being sad for years, years, years after my father passed away. I was 11 when my father passed away, and I've witnessed my mom grieving, grieving, grieving. I wish I had known the tools at the time. And the belief, Brianna writes, if someone dies, grief will come automatically. Yeah. One needs to allow oneself to feel the loss gently and transform the sadness. Unresolved grief steals one's life. This is Joan writing. So there's all kinds of beliefs and new beliefs. And so I'm going to ask you that one question before we get into practice. Barb, what has really helped you? What has really helped you? Which practice did you do that really helped you?
I think when I think about it now, all the practices I did were helpful. I think the practices I did to open my heart, because it actually does feel like a broken heart. And I think the focus on the heart and learning to transform, because that is the transformation center, I think was really, really useful. And also the tracing calligraphies.
We will do that this evening, but first, let's do a practice that Master Sha has introduced for healing grief and sadness. In Chinese medicine, we know that the organs are yin and yang organs, have different functions in the body. So if you think of your heart being protected by the lungs, and the lungs, if there's grief that are filling the lungs, then the heart will be compressed. So one of the practice we'll do tonight is to do a long practice. And I'm just going to open just going to change here. And we will do a practice with Master Sha for healing the lungs, which are the organs, the yin organs connected with grief and sadness. And so you're going to visualize your lungs filled with light. Feel your lungs. So that's the mind power. Close your eyes for the moment. Breathe in deeply. Visualize the light coming into your lungs and your heart. And I'm going to guide you with Master Sha. There's a mantra that goes with healing the lungs. And the sound is Sir. So I'm going to connect with share screen and watch the video of Master Sha. Oh, share screen with sound. Can you see my slide, Vanessa?
Yes, and the sound too.
Thank you. So visualize the light in the lungs. Breathe in. Is the sound for healing grief and sadness. Breathe in deeply. Light in your chest, in your lungs. And then we will continue. The second step is to ask the sound to heal grief and sadness, to transform grief and sadness into courage. The courage. And courage comes from the word cœur. So it's very interesting that courage is heart. Courage, heart. It's coming from the word heart. So we're going to do the second step with Master Sha. And step 2 for the metal element is to heal grief and sadness. We say the sound 3 times. Okay. And again, share with sound. I lost the
s s s s.
You're not seeing the picture, right?
No.
No? Yeah, I'm having to juggle around. Sorry about that. And show. And I'm going through the third step, the mantra, because to show you. I think next time, Vanessa, I'll ask you the technical help to show the mantra. Well, let's do it mentally. Let's do step 3 is the mantra Surya, Surya Yo. And we chant the mantra, visualizing the light shining in the chest. Surya, it nourishes the body. And Yo, it vibrates through the spinal cord, bringing the light through the whole body.
Monica, I'm gonna share.
You want to share? Thank you. Visualize the light in your lungs.
是呀，是呀，是呀哟。
Visualize the light.
是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀，是呀哟。
Dear mantra, Surya, Surya, you heal and transform grief into courage.
是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀，是呀哟。
Think of one relationship you want to heal and bring the light.
是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀，是呀哟。
Ask the light to fill up your heart, your lungs, your chest with light.
是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀哟。 是呀，是呀，是呀，是呀哟。
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Vanessa.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. So take time to stay with the light. Stay with the light. And now think of something that you've learned from many losses, something that you've learned. So the reason I'm saying this is yesterday during the medicine wheel, people speak from the heart, and I was using uh, a, a, a rock that I had painted the name of Ruth on it, my adopted mom. And I was saying to everyone in the circle, I've learned a lot from Ruth, particularly in the last years that I was alongside her before she passed. I learned so much. I learned so much how to care deeply for someone who's losing mental abilities. I've learned so much how to really, really care. And that transformed me. It brought my caring for others to a different level. It brought my caring to the level of pure love. Pure love. And we know that love heals at a deep level. So when we feel grief, we can transform it into pure love. Pure love. Yeah. Yes. We learn from trauma too. We learn something, and what we learn is with Tao science is to connect with the source that brings us the highest frequency and vibration. So we connect with that source. And that's what we're going to do now. We will connect with a calligraphy that brings us Tao source nourishment, the nourishment from the infinite possibilities that we have as human beings. We have infinite resources, and that's Tao. It's within us. It's in our abdomen. We hold the universe in our abdomen. We hold Tao in our abdomen. We hold oneness in our abdomen. So imagine that you hold Tao in your abdomen, vibrating, and it's the Hundun. What is Hundun? Hundun is, it's painful, it's joyful. It's difficult, it's easy. It's both. There's pain, there's joy. We celebrate something. We celebrate having known, having being born in this time when there's so much consciousness, there's so much spirituality in our life, and we can connect with our soul and the soul of everything and everyone. So you find something in your life that brings you joy. You connect with something that you learned from the losses. You connect with the soul of that person that you may have lost and the courage. If I think of Iris and her courage through the illness, the courage to go through that, connect with that courage, connect with the soul. And we're going to trace the calligraphy, Da Guangming. Da Guangming, greatest light. And I would like to offer a demo, offer a Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring to heal grief and sadness to someone. So if you'd like to receive a Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, please write in the chat if that's something that has been difficult for you to find joy again after the loss of someone, to find your spirit, your self-love, to connect with the Tao, unlimited, infinite source of love, infinite source of joy, to connect with something within you, your strength, your skills, something that you can give to humanity. Yeah. So write in the chat, you'd like to be a demo. Okay. So there are some new people, and what is a demo? To be a demo is to receive a permanent light, permanent golden light ball that you activate. But to be a recipient, you need to be willing to connect with that golden light ball every day. It's like connecting with your soul and the soul of Tao. It's a Tao golden light ball. Yeah? And so it's a commitment that you're willing to make to connect with Tao and the treasure. It's a Jindan. It's a golden light ball to heal and transform your grief, to connect with infinite possibilities, and to connect with joy of life. You have a right to feel the joy of life. Yeah? So, Christine Owen, you seem to be the demo tonight. Christine Owen. And if you'd like to open your video, I think you're there. I'd like to see Christine Owen.
It's open.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna change to gallery. Yeah. So congratulations, Christine. And everyone, if you'd like to open your video while she's receiving, you're all also receiving. Yeah. So open your video to receive also the splash from the Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring. And so how do I offer a Tao Golden Light Ball? First of all, I want to say that I'm honored to be a Tao Chang healer and teacher from Tao Academy. I've been trained by Master Zhigang Sha, and I'm honored to be able to offer these transmissions of Tao Golden Light Ball. And it's an energy field. Jindan is energy field that you connect with every day. And you do an invocation, you ask the field of Tao to heal an aspect of your life. And that's why these sessions are so important. So you get to learn how to connect, to truly connect with Tao, the source. It's within you. It's your true self connecting with the source of everything and everyone. So I'm connecting with the Healing Master Sha Tao Healing Center in Vancouver with all the calligraphies and the healing instruments. Tao order, please transmit to Christine Owen, Tao Golden Light Ball, Golden Liquid Spring, to heal grief and sadness. And everyone, you make a request. Transmission. The field of Tao is activated, and the golden light ball is coming down. It's a spiritual golden light ball to transform the negative information, energy, and matter within Christine Owen to positive information, energy, and matter, to remove the negative information of sadness in the heart, the soul, heart, mind, body of the heart and the lungs, where the grief is held at the spiritual level, The golden ball is removing some of the negative messages and transforming them into courage, peace, and infinite possibilities to enjoy life, to reconnect with the source, to activate your infinite possibilities within you, to fulfill your life. Now I transmit a light wall of protection around Christine. Transmission to protect from the negative information to come back around grief and sadness. And a transmission to align soul, heart, mind, body with Tao, the source, with the golden light ball. Transmission. The light is shining, growing. Now, Christine, if you'd like to offer a blessing to everyone, we have 31 people. Offer a blessing by saying after me, dear golden light ball, golden liquid spring,
Dear golden light ball and golden liquid spring,
to heal grief and sadness.
to heal grief and sadness,
I love you, honor you, and appreciate you.
I love you, honor you, and appreciate you.
Would you please, I offer a blessing
Would you please offer a blessing
to all that would like to receive tonight
to all that would like to receive tonight
to heal and transform grief and sadness
to heal and transform grief and sadness
as appropriate?
as appropriate?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cannot thank you enough.
Cannot thank you enough.
And now, if you'd like, you can sing your soul song or soul language, or be silent, whichever you prefer, Christine.
Thank you. I
How? Thank you, Christine. How do you feel, Christine?
Well, I feel very touched, really heart touched to receive this. It was like I was having a life review tonight, as people were talking about grief. And I'll just share one piece. I have a sister who I never knew because she was 3 when she drowned in a pool. And my mother was 6 months pregnant with another one of my sisters who was been born 3 months later and had a lot of mental health issues and emotional issues and physical issues. And my mother's grief really stayed with her for her whole life, the rest of her life. So that was just like one little life review thing, but I really felt that this was also a blessing for my mother.
Yes,
Yeah, that
absolutely.
the whole family is being blessed by this, even though my mother, this is all many years ago that this happened. My family has carried it, and yeah, and what I also like to share, before the blessing was given, as soon as you announced that treasure would be given, I got this image of the light ball, like a ball and chain attached to my foot.
Mhm.
And it was this, it's like, it's really attached to me. This light ball is really attached to me. And then during the blessing, I felt myself pick up that ball and just embrace it next to my lungs. So it was just, I was holding it and it was there. And I just really feel like it's a companion with me. And the message I got too was, now the work of transformation begins. So I'm really grateful to Barbara for her presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine. And that's the power of a permanent Jindan golden light ball, that the transformation is possible because it's an incredible source of light. And when you receive it, it's exactly what happens even before. Something shifts because the soul is ready. The soul is so ready to
Mhm.
transform that pain. Your soul is your true self, but sometimes we don't know that that's what the soul needs. The soul needs to receive a boost of light to heal the grief and sadness. So those who would like to receive tonight, please stay with me at the end of this presentation, and you can receive this incredible source of light the way Christine has explained. It's like, wow, now the healing begins. Yes, and because it's possible to transform and then to practice the way Barb has explained. We need to practice how it's simple. You activate and you you activate the Jindan, you activate the golden light ball, and we're gonna trace. So that's what we're gonna do now. And I'm gonna put up the calligraphy, share screen, and we're gonna trace and chant Da Guangming, greatest light, because that's an important source of healing, the light. And so let me know, Vanessa, if you see the calligraphy.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm going to put the music on and everybody stand up. To trace, we're going to stand up. It's a Tai Chi movement that Master Sha has taught us. And he has learned in his early years the power of movement. So we stand up, feet apart, shoulder width apart, and we bend our knees slightly, and it's like holding a ball of light in front of our abdomen. So imagine holding that light, that ball of light in front of your abdomen, and when we trace, we're going to follow each line of the calligraphy holding the ball. And we can practice first by shifting our weight from left to right, because when we trace from left to right, we shift the weight of the body. When it goes up, we stretch our legs a bit. When it goes down, we bend the legs. So the whole body is following the calligraphy from left to right, up and down, and we follow each line of the calligraphy all the way. Da Guangming means greatest light. So we're going to chant with Master Sha and trace the calligraphy for 10 minutes. And we're going to ask the calligraphy greatest light, please, please say, dear calligraphy, Da Guangming, greatest light, I love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Would you please transform my grief and sadness into courage and peace? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we start tracing and chanting. Just a moment. Music is coming. And it could be the loss of finances, of dreams, a friendship, a child, loss of work. Now connect with infinite possibilities to healing. I heal and transform into light.
Monique, I think it's a bit low.
Great is light, great is light, great is light. I am inside the light. The light is inside me.
Visualize the light in your abdomen shining.
Bright, great is light, great is light, great is
Light is inside of me. Bright, 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 bright.
great is light,
Great is light, great is light.
I am
Inside the light,
light
Go all the way down, complete the calligraphy, and we come back together. So some people that are new, why do we trace calligraphy? Because Master Sha has discovered, first of all, that when he learned this style, Yibitsu one-stroke writing, you can see that it's one movement non-stop. Da Guangming, greatest light. And when we trace with the body, we become the message of greatest light. And not only that, we become the message, we also receive the frequency and vibration that is in the calligraphy. It's a very ancient art, like 5,000 years old art, and the original purpose of calligraphy was to connect with heaven, with the saints, with the spirit world, and to ask for guidance. And so when Master Sha writes a calligraphy, he is connecting with the highest realm, and he's bringing into the calligraphy the highest positive message. And if you look at the calligraphy, it's very aligned. Everything is down, beautifully written, balance of yin strokes and yang strokes, and beautiful style, but it's more than beautiful. It's transformative because of its frequency, because of the message of light, the purest message of light. So thank you, and I would like to, like some people, the honor fee to receive the calligraphy is $100 Canadian. And so if you'd like to receive this incredible treasure that you activate, and otherwise you can use the calligraphy, you can continue to trace when I send a replay, or if you have any calligraphy with you, like from a book, for example, or use the calligraphy that I email to you. This is found on YouTube. All the calligraphies that I post are available on YouTube, and you can download it, you can put it on your phone. They are public domain because otherwise you can also go on drsha.com and you can have your own calligraphy. You can receive your own calligraphy. Daguan Ming would be, yeah, I showed you that, but there are all kinds of calligraphies that you can receive and trace. And so, yeah, sorry, not YouTube, Google, on Google. It's available on Google. All the calligraphy that I use are posted on Google. And you can have them, you can put them on your phone and trace and chant whenever you need to transform a strong emotion or a situation in your life. When you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling down, chant. That's really Master Shati teaches. The chant never leaves your mouth. Chant, chant, chant. Don't allow yourself to spiral into despair, or don't allow yourself to go into the spiral of negativity. So to summarize what we talked about tonight, and with the beautiful presentation from Barb, is that it's possible to transform. Why is it so important to connect with the practices of Dr. Shah? Is because it's possible as we connect with the light and we connect with the source of light, of the source of creation. Tao creates everything. Tao creates oneness, and oneness is a field. We also call it the Hundun condition, when it's it's neither sad or it's nothing. It's you just quiet your mind and go into your body, feeling the connection with everything, the connection with the universe, just as we did in the beginning. The universe is in your abdomen. The earth is in your abdomen. The sun is in your abdomen. The moon is in your abdomen. And you visualize that golden light ball. And so we had this meditation to connect with the universe in the abdomen. Do that meditation for yourself. And then we did a practice to heal the lungs, the yin organs of grief and sadness with the sound. And we did the practice with tracing Daguang Ming, the greatest light. The movement allows energy to move in the body. So when there's energy that is stagnant, the movement of tracing Daguang Ming, a very gentle movement, will allow the light to move in the body, and you are becoming Daguang Ming, greatest light, to transform the grief and sadness. And so I would like to hear some comments before I make the final announcements. Anybody would like to comment about the practice tonight? Have you felt something? Have you learned something? Uh, Anyone would like to share? Okay, so I will take some names. People are saying yes, please stay after to receive the Jindan. And let me see. Okay, Anna. And okay. So those who would like to receive, stay with me and I will do another. Yeah. Okay. Good, Brianna, right? Right. I feel as I just took some medicine. I feel so much relief. Yes. Because as Barbara said, it's a bit of a taboo subject, but we need to talk about grief and we need to talk about these emotions. And for example, when we do a celebration of life, the celebration, what I did this weekend is to remember how much I learned, how much I've learned, and it was healing not only my adopted mother's death, but my own mother's death. It was healing the years that I missed with my own mother. She died when I was younger. And so many losses of friends, of work, of finances. Trace and chant and visualize the light. Really, the testimonial of Barb, it works. It works. Yes, yes, Mary. This practice with light is exactly that. To
Monique,
see,
can I jump in for a second?
please share,
So,
Mary.
I'm so grateful for you, Monique. I'm so grateful for Barbara. Forgive me for missing some of the other classes. You know, we live in a society where everything is pretty much instant. The food, the ads are very quick. Everything's like now, now, now. And I love you, Barb. I don't know you, but I love you. You know, it takes courage to say I was stuck. And when you said I sat in the rain and thought, is this it? Is this the best it gets? I have felt like that so long. And it's only been recently with many teachers helping me. Monique is one of them, that I'm beginning to see a new way. But I love your honesty, and I'm moved to tears because I went deeper tonight into areas I haven't been able to go in for a long time. And I know it's because Monique holds us so lovingly and she creates a field. But I want to honor you, Barb. I want to honor you so deeply because I feel you touched every single heart here tonight. And I'll keep it brief because other people may want to share. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. We love you so much. You and Renee. You're part of our community. You're part of our family, and you do so much for people. So thank you for your heart. Thank you for sharing. And I'm going to read Mary Barbara. She says, I feel awkward. Just a minute, it went here. Oh, I lost it. So feeling awkward or not being able to keep up. Yes, it still works. It still works, Mary Barbara, because you are in the field. And when you are in the field the calligraphy is shining light. So whenever you do the replay, you can pause, you can stop at the calligraphy, receive the message of the calligraphy. You are filled with light. You are born with light inside of you, and it's your soul, and it's the soul of Tao. You were never separated from Tao. You were never separated from the source. It's inside of you. And that's why I'm so passionate about Tao science and Master Sha's teaching. We think we're separate. It's an illusion. We are one with the greatest source of creation. And in that abdomen, you are creating your life. You are recreating your life with joy, with peace, with hope, and you can achieve anything you want with that Tao connection. Anything you want. You can redo your life. So you've lost everything, it can come back everything. You know, I've went through that myself. Deep financial trouble, but I came back. Do I have financial problems now? No. But I lost everything at some point. It all came back. Why? Because I connect with Tao and I know Tao is within me. Tao and me is not separate. All the possibilities are inside of us. And so I would like to share screen one more time to show you the announcements because we're almost at the end. So just a minute, my technical skills here. Okay, and so the grief coach. Can you see my slide?
No.
I guess not. Okay, I'm gonna share screen and show you grief coach. She's doing a 5-week series and starting April 7th, 5-week challenge grief relief with Barbara Friesen. And Thursdays, April 7th, 14, 21, 28, and May 5th, 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific time, and it's complimentary. So give Barb a big virtual hug and the beautiful banner that has been designed by someone we know that is helping people. Vanessa is so helpful. Thank you, Vanessa, for your help, for helping people promote their services. We are such a team together, all of you, all of us. We're one. And so grief coach, Barbara Friesen, you can connect with her. This is her email. She's also on Instagram. You can text her on the phone number. Take notes. Reach out to her. 5-week challenge complimentary, and she offers also free consults one-on-one. So take notes. And next Monday, we will do loving relationships and self-love. So call all your friends to join. So many people need self-love. We need to love ourselves so much more. And the free Wednesdays. So if you want to have the link for Wednesday night, free days with Jimena Gavino. So I'm going to put that in the chat. And right here in the chat, register for Wednesday night complimentary classes with Jimena Gavino. And at the end of the month, Tao Healing Hands direct registration. If you're not yet a Tao Hands practitioner, please put that in your agenda to become a healer. In one weekend, you are transmitted the ability to offer blessings to others. So it's called Tao Healing Hands, March 26, 27. And again, I will put the link if you're interested. Go on the website and check this out. And together we will say our biggest thank you to Master Sha. And I will sing one line of his famous song, one of the famous song that Master Sha received from heaven. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. So please open your videos. It's time to see everybody and to say thank you, Master Sha, from the bottom of our hearts for all the teachings, practices, wisdom that you bring to the world so we can join psychotherapy and science and spirituality together. It's all one, and to connect with the highest source of Tao, the source of infinite possibilities to create our life, to recreate ourselves in alignment with oneness, that we are loved, we are supported, and we are protected. So thank you everyone for joining. It's my pleasure to be with you, and a big thank you to Barbara Friesen. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you,
Thank you,
thank
thank
you.
you, thank you,
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you, everyone.
Love you also.
Everyone. Thank you for joining
Love you,
tonight.
May.
Love you. Thank you,
Love you,
thank you,
every
thank you.
single person. Thank you, everyone. Love you all.
Love you all too.
Love
Have a
you,
good
love you, love
day.
you. Love you,
Yeah.
April. Love you, Monique. Love you, Christine.
Hi, Vanessa.
Love you.
Thank
Love
you,
you,
Monique.
Angela.
Thank you.
Stay, if you'd like to receive the downloads, please stay after we stop the recording.
Blessings,
Thank you
everyone. Bye.
everyone. Love
Love you.
you.
Thank you.
So happy you were
Thank
here
you.
tonight. Thank you, Dorian, for joining. Athena, Jody, April, Sharon, Mary, Paula, Karen, Evelyn, May, Bettina, Anna, Joan. So happy to be with you.
And thank you.
Yeah. So we'll stop the recording and